5 powerful signs you and someone are truly meant to be together. Have you ever met someone and thought, why does this person feel so familiar? Not because everything is perfect, not because you never disagree, but because something about the connection feels different. You feel understood, you feel comfortable, and somehow being around them makes you want to become a better version of yourself. But here's the part most people get wrong. Strong chemistry doesn't automatically mean you're meant to be together. Sometimes attraction is loud, exciting, and completely misleading. A meaningful connection is often much quieter. So today, I'm going to show you 5 powerful signs that can reveal when a relationship has the foundation of something genuinely deep and lasting. And pay close attention to number 4, because it's one of those signs people often overlook. Let's get into it. 1. You found each other during a significant season of life. Timing matters more than most people realize. You can meet an amazing person at the wrong point in your life and still fail to build a relationship with them. Maybe you were just coming out of a painful breakup. Maybe you were rebuilding your confidence. Maybe you had spent years focused on your career and had almost given up on relationships. Then suddenly, someone enters your life. And strangely enough, they aren't just attracted to you. They seem to understand the version of you that is currently being built. For example, imagine a man who has spent years struggling with his direction in life. He's finally getting serious about his career, becoming more disciplined, and learning to trust himself again. Then he meets a woman who doesn't distract him from that growth. Instead, she encourages it. At the same time, she may be going through her own transformation, and he becomes someone who supports her journey too. That's important. A meaningful relationship doesn't always arrive when your life is comfortable. Sometimes it arrives when both people are finally becoming ready for the kind of relationship they couldn't have handled years earlier. The timing doesn't have to be magical. But when the relationship fits the season you're in, you often realize later that meeting that person changed the direction of your life. And that brings us to the second sign. 2. The relationship gives you security instead of constant anxiety. Let's be honest. A lot of people mistake emotional instability for passion. Someone disappears for 3 days. Then they come back with intense attention. You don't know where you stand. You're constantly checking your phone. You analyze every message. You wonder whether they actually care. And because your emotions are constantly activated, you assume the connection must be powerful. But that's not necessarily love. Sometimes that's simply uncertainty. When you're with someone who is genuinely good for you, there's usually a different feeling underneath the relationship. Peace. You don't need to constantly decode their behavior, because their behavior speaks clearly. If they care, you can see it. If something is wrong, you can talk about it. If you disagree, you don't immediately fear that the relationship is over. And even when conflict happens, there is still respect. That's what emotional safety looks like. Think about the difference between these 2 relationships. In one, you're constantly asking, does she still like me? Why hasn't he replied? Did I do something wrong? In the other, you might have disagreements, but deep down you know. We're going to talk about this. That difference is huge. A healthy connection doesn't mean you'll never feel nervous or insecure. It means the relationship isn't constantly manufacturing those feelings. 3. You can be yourself without losing their respect. The wrong relationship can make you feel like you're auditioning for love. You carefully choose what to say. You hide certain opinions. You pretend not to care about things you actually care about. You lower your standards because you're afraid they might leave. You become a carefully edited version of yourself. And eventually, you may realize something painful. They aren't actually loving you. They're loving the character you created to keep them interested. A strong relationship works differently. You can laugh at your weird habits. You can admit when you're wrong. You can talk about your ambitions. You can have boundaries. You can say no. You can have your own friends, interests, goals, and personality. And the other person doesn't feel threatened simply because you are an individual. In fact, the right partner often makes you more comfortable with who you already are. They don't constantly tear down your confidence. They challenge you when necessary, but they don't humiliate you. They encourage growth without demanding that you become someone completely different. There's a major difference between change because you're not good enough and grow because I believe there's more in you. One destroys your identity. The other strengthens it. And if you've ever experienced that kind of relationship, you know how different it feels. By the way, if this is already making you think about someone in your life, take a moment and reflect on which of these signs describes your relationship. And if you're enjoying this kind of relationship psychology, subscribe to the channel because there's plenty more coming. Now let's talk about a sign that's much quieter. 4. You don't have to fill every moment with words. Here's something people don't talk about enough. Comfortable silence is a form of intimacy. You don't always need a deep conversation. You don't always need jokes. You don't always need physical affection. Sometimes you can simply sit beside each other and feel completely comfortable. Maybe you're driving together and neither of you says much. Maybe you're both watching something on television. Maybe she's reading while you're working on your laptop. You're technically doing separate things, but neither person feels disconnected. That's a powerful kind of closeness. Because when someone is genuinely comfortable with you, their presence doesn't require constant performance. You don't feel like you have to entertain them every second. You don't panic when the conversation becomes quiet. You don't interpret silence as rejection. Instead, there's a sense of, I don't need to do anything right now. I'm just happy you're here. That's emotional comfort. And it usually develops when two people feel secure enough to drop the performance and simply exist around each other. Attraction may get two people interested. Conversation may bring them closer. But comfort is often what reveals whether there's deeper emotional intimacy underneath it all. And then there's the 5th sign. 5. Being together makes both of you better. Pay attention to what happens to your life after this person enters it. Do you become more focused? Do you start taking your goals more seriously? Do you become emotionally healthier? Do you communicate better? Do you become more confident? Do you start making decisions that your future self will thank you for? A meaningful relationship doesn't have to make your life perfect. Bills still exist. Work can still be stressful. Family problems can still happen. You can still argue. Life doesn't suddenly become a movie because you've met the right person. But the relationship can change how you face life. Instead of constantly draining each other, you build each other up. Instead of encouraging destructive habits, you challenge each other to grow. Instead of becoming smaller to maintain the relationship, both people become stronger within it. Imagine having a partner who looks at your dream and says, I know you're capable of this. Let's figure out how you can get there. And you give that same energy back to them. That's different from simply being attracted to someone. That's partnership. Sometimes, years later, people look back and realize, meeting this person didn't just give me a relationship, it changed me. That's one of the strongest indicators that the connection had real meaning. But here's the reality. Let's be careful with the phrase, meant to be. No relationship is guaranteed simply because you experience these signs. People still have choices. Compatibility still matters. Values still matter. Communication matters. Trust matters. And both people have to consciously choose the relationship. The real test isn't whether you believe the universe sent someone to you. The real test is what happens when real life begins. Can you handle disagreements without destroying each other? Can you communicate when you're hurt? Can you respect each other's boundaries? Can you grow without competing? Can you continue choosing each other when the excitement becomes ordinary life? Because sometimes, the person who gives you butterflies isn't the person who gives you peace. And sometimes, the relationship that looks less dramatic from the outside is actually the one built on something much stronger. So if you meet someone who enters your life at a meaningful moment, gives you emotional security, allows you to be yourself, feels comfortable even in silence, and inspires both of you to grow, don't ignore that. That kind of connection deserves attention. And remember, being meant to be isn't about finding someone who completes you. It's about finding someone with whom you can build something healthy, honest, peaceful, and strong. So now I'm curious. Which of these 5 signs have you experienced in a relationship? And which one do you think matters the most? Drop your answer in the comments. And if this video gave you a new perspective on love and relationships, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Most importantly, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes, understanding the difference between attraction and a genuinely healthy connection can completely change the way you approach relationships. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.